Hello everyone, this is Teresa Siderio and I am your Jersey Mama, and I want to thank everybody for hopping on today. And I just want to say that I am not a chef and I am not a nutritionist. I am just somebody who likes to cook and share some recipes with you, and hopefully what you'll be able to do is take what you could share this post, actually this live video, to your private messenger page. You can do that for yourself. You can also save it in case you want to take a look at it again. But I do have some good news, and I have learned, because I am so technology impaired, but I have learned through my cousin's son how to upload all my cooking videos that I've been doing to YouTube. So if you go onto YouTube, hi everyone, thank you for coming on. Hi George, nice to see you. Jen, it's always good to see you too. Sherry, thanks for hopping on. But I've learned to upload or download my videos to YouTube. So what you could do is, you can go onto YouTube. If you go up onto the top bar where the magnifying glass is, the search bar, and type in hashtag Jersey Mama or just Teresa Siderio, you'll be able to view some of the videos that I have done so far. And don't forget to like the videos and also subscribe, because if you don't have a chance to watch me on Facebook, you'll be able to watch my videos on YouTube. So I'm really excited about that. So remember to subscribe and to like my videos. So today what I wanted to do is take the time to let everybody know that that number one, also that please drop in the comments where you're coming from. I had so many people last week coming from New Zealand, and a lot more from Australia, and Canada, my Canada people. You know, props to everybody that's jumping on from that far, that's, you know, coming on to watch me. But if you can't see what I'm cooking, or can't, only because of everybody writing their comments on here, just swipe the page or swipe to the right, and you'll be able to see more of the food. And I will be happy to answer any questions after the fact. Somebody just do me a favor and show me some hearts that you hear me well, and you see me, that everything's working. Just pop some love, their little hearts or thumbs up that's on the live, and this way I'll be able to, or make a comment. Say yes, I'm here. Okay, Heather. Hi Heidi. Can you hear me? Yes, good. Hearts are up. Okay. So today I normally do something more on a healthier level. I don't know. September just means to me comfort food. When the kids go back to school, or when my kids went back to school, I love comfort food. So I am making something that I haven't made in a while, but it is just so quick and it's so easy that you're going to want to, you want to make it for the kids. Now, you can buy everything organic. You can do your organic with this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this on. Turn my pot on. Okay. I'm going to I love Brussels sprouts. I was a late eater when it came to Brussels sprouts. I never really liked Brussels sprouts. I don't know why. I never had it. I don't think my parents ever made it. But just the name Brussels sprouts just went, ooh. But it wasn't until somebody made it that I absolutely fell in love with it. And it was like a little mini cabbage. So, but I had it with pancetta. Oh my God, that could be another cooking show. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm warming up in the pan some onion. There's my garlic. And garlic. Okay. I had already cut off the stems. For those of you who do not know what Brussels sprouts are, these are like little baby cabbages. Okay, so they've already been washed, And I did not, I should have cut them in half, but I didn't do it. The only reason why I didn't do it is because the way I'm cooking it, it's going to fall apart anyway in the, with the chicken broth that I cook it in. And I didn't want it to make it, all like, mushy. We're going to do this one first because it will actually take a little bit longer because it's not cut. And I like it. I don't like it really mushy. I mean, you can cook it and make it softer, but I've chosen not to do that. I like it with a little bit more, more of a bite to it. Now, because I added the chopped garlic that I always pre-cut, it'll turn out to be, you gotta watch you don't burn it. Okay. We're gonna add some salt. We're gonna use some pepper. What did I do with it? How fast I roast it. Okay. You're going to let that simmer in there. Then what I'm going to do is take some chicken broth. About a half a can of chicken broth. And you're going to let that simmer in there. Okay? And you're going to cook this to the desired tenderness. Like I said, if you want it softer, you cook it longer. You add a little bit more chicken broth to it. If not, you don't have to worry about that. If you want to cook it to where it's to like I like it, where I like it a little bit more bite, I'm only using half a can of chicken broth. Okay. Now, I learned this recipe about 5 years ago watching a cooking show, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try it. I never knew how to make the darn cube steak, okay? See, this is cube steak for those of you who don't know. They always have like those grids in it, and I think it's a cheaper cut of beef. No matter even where you buy, even if you buy it organic. It's just that I think it's a tougher type of meat and they put it through some type of machine that puts those marks in it to break up the fat. So this way it will cook very tender, very, very tender. Okay. So let me just rinse my hands out over here. Okay. Small kitchen, smaller house. Oh well. Okay. So you're going to salt and pepper your meat. Both sides. I think it's the wrong leg. Oh well. Okay. Whoop. Oh well. Hold on. All the pepper came out. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in the flour anyway. Oh boy. It's going to be one of those cooking shows, right? It's going to be good though. It's going to be good. Okay. So I'm going to put in here real fast some olive oil. Just a few things of olive oil because you're going to cook the ground meat or the cube steak in there. Okay. Now I already put what fell out and I'm going to put some salt in the flour. You're going to want this pan to get hot. You just mix the salt and pepper and some flour. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your meat and you're going to dredge it in the flour. This will cook this way, I mean, until it's halfway cooked, I would say, because you're going to cook the rest in a broth. I need a little bit more olive oil in this pan. This is called, like, from what I remember, it's called a country fried steak. Now, I know I have some friends in the South here, so I don't know how you make yours. This is the recipe that I learned. You know, feel free to make comments and any ways that I can improve it after. I mean, you guys know better than I do. So, so now this is turning. Okay, it's starting to sizzle over here now. The pan's getting good. Okay. Whoops. Flour all over. Jesus. Alright. Oh, I thought I had 2 pieces. I thought I had 3 pieces. I have 4. I didn't know. I didn't realize that. Oh no, that's not 4. That's just the lid. Did I tell you I have a visual problem that I can't see a whole lot of stuff? Yeah, kind of crazy. I thought it was a piece of meat because it was the color. Okay. So do not dump your flour in your sink. Dump it in your trash can. Why? Because what happens is when you run the water, it'll form a paste and it runs down your drain. And it'll form a paste, and what happens is that when the water's not running right, if the water's not running, you're going to get a lump of something hard, like a piece of clay. It turns very, very hard, and then you're going to have issues with your draining. Okay? Let's check this. Turn this up a little bit. You're going to cook this chicken fried steak until it's, I wouldn't say brown, but where it looks like it's cooked, but you are going to be able to, it cooks fast. And what happens is with the flour inside the pan, it will eventually make its own, once you mix the broth in with it, it will make its own, like a roux. You know what a roux, it's like a thickening agent. And usually when you make a roux to make something thick, if you're not using cornstarch, you mix 1 part butter, 1 part flour. So if it's a tablespoon of butter, it's going to be a tablespoon equal part of flour. And that helps thicken. So it's a thickening agent. So if you decide you want to put that in your soup and make a thicker broth for your soup, you can do that. You can do that for your gravies that you want to make. Okay. See how easy that is? This is a very quick, easy meal. That's how you want to make it. You want it to cook, you want it to look like this. Then in your pan, you're going to put, I cut up for 3 pieces of meat, I cut up a small red onion. And I used half of it for the broccoli or the Brussels sprouts, and I'm using half for this. Some more olive oil. Some salt, so much for the pepper, since the lid came off and broke. Okay. I love the smell of onion cooking. And you basically want this translucent. And it doesn't take long for the onions to cook. This is starting to steam. I'm going to throw a little bit more, I'm going to throw garlic in here because I wanted the onions to cook faster. And I didn't want the garlic to burn. It is like really different cooking in this kitchen compared to my other kitchen before. It was so much bigger. But who cares? There's only 2 of us now, right? How many out there are empty nesters? The biggest thing for me is trying to learn how to cook for 2 people now. And then I feel bad that my son's upstairs, and if he comes home and it's just my husband and I, because sometimes I cook and he doesn't come down, or he'll go out to eat, and then I'm like with an extra meal. So, but then that's okay because my husband he'll take it to work. Okay, so once this is cooked, a couple minutes, it only takes about 3 minutes for that to cook. You're going to put the rest of the meat back in there. And then I'm going to throw some mushrooms on top of that. You could have threw the mushrooms in. I already sliced it. Now you don't have to have mushrooms. If you're not a mushroom type of person, you don't have to have the mushrooms. It doesn't make a difference. I just figured it. I don't know. It's just something extra that I put in. What can I tell you? I have no clue sometimes why I do some of the cooking that I do. I just think it adds to a more heartier dish. If not, it doesn't make a difference. You don't have to put it in. Now I have 1 can of beef broth right here. Okay, I'm going to throw that on top of it. You don't have to add the salt and pepper again because you already did it in the beginning, and because there's already sodium in the broth, you don't have to do that. Now, what I also do have here is, I love it, is I buy McCormicks Homestyle Gravy. Now, you can use a thickening agent. You could have put the chicken or the beef broth in there and then turn around and add like a roux to it to make it thicker. But I didn't want to do it that way because I wanted it to cook real well. What do I do with the lid? Here we go. I wanted it to cook better. So when that comes to a boil, I'm going to then add this. Okay, I believe it says add, I got hot water cooking over here. I'm not cooking, it's boiling. This is my thickening agent. Is this McCormick's brown gravy mix. You whisk it real good. So if anybody out there, just put in comments, like I said, to tell me where you're from. Tell me if this is your first time. I'll send you a friend request. So this way you can see when my next video comes out. I always try to do something two days before, put a post up 2 days before. We can, I'm going to pour that in there. 2 days before that I start cooking. And this way you'll be able to know ahead of time. Also, what was I going to tell you? Share the video. I mean, there's a share button there. You could share it to a private message. You can share it on your Facebook page. Last week, I'm so happy we got over, I think it was like 8.7K views. So that was pretty cool. I love to see how many people were able to view my video, which is really, really exciting to me. So please feel free to share. Also, I have a cooking Facebook page, Cooking Live with Jersey Mama, on Facebook. So you feel free to go over there and like my page over there. So there's different options for you to be able to go grab my videos, okay? So one, you can share it to your Facebook page, share it to a cooking group. If you see something that you're a part of a cooking group, feel free to share it to that group. Send me a friend request so this way you know when I'm going to put out another cooking show. Let's see. Hi Cindy, I see everybody starting to pop on. Hi Barb. Hi Dee. I miss my granddaughter, something terrible. I don't want to cry. Oh God. So anyway, share the video, share it to your personal page, share it to your messenger, share it to a friend. This is, like I said, this is a really good, easy dinner. You're going to cook this until it boils and until it thickens up. It doesn't take long because you've already cooked it, okay? Now what I went over here and did was I went ahead and made some mashed potatoes. Now you can add to your mashed potatoes, you can add anything. Let me turn it on and warm it up. I decided that it's a traditional regular mashed potatoes with the, your butter and your cream, but I'm going to add sour cream to it. You can also add chives to it. I have here 2 tablespoons of sour cream, low-fat sour cream, organic sour cream. You can add that to your mashed potatoes. It just adds another flavor to it. I like to make things that are quick and easy because lots of times you don't have time to cook and, come home and add this huge big meal, and it just goes, you can have your meals done. You don't have to have a mashed potato if you are looking for your, if you're watching your carbohydrates, or even though they say it's gluten-free now. I mean, that's what I read. I never heard of the gluten. I always thought that there was gluten in mashed potatoes. Okay, so you warm that up. Let's check. Woo! Oh, blessed mother. Fogged up glasses. Okay. Move it around. You're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. That's all it's going to take once you put the second chicken broth or the gravy in, you're going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes. In fact, I'm going to keep it off. I'm going to let it thicken up that way. Okay. I always have a tendency of putting my hot lids, and it's always leaning up against my pan, and then my pan is rubber, so I don't want it to. Here, let me turn that one on. Let me turn that one on. Okay. It's going to start getting softer. Now, if you want your Brussels sprouts to be a little softer, you're just going to let it have to cook a little bit longer. Now, right now, if you wanted to add pancetta, or if you wanted to add some crushed bacon that you would have already sautéed, you can add that up. Always cook your pancetta or cook your bacon beforehand. You could throw that in last minute and then sauté it up. It just gives it another flavor. So this is almost done. Okay. Oh, this looks good. Okay. You can test the way I test this beef, this cube steak, is when your fork goes through it, it's done. Because if you let it cook any longer, what'll happen is it'll just get tough, and you don't want it to get tough. Now this is simmering down real good. I'm going to take a plate. I'm going to put some mashed potatoes at the bottom because I am trying to watch my carbs. And then I'm going to take a piece of the meat. I want a small one. These things get so big and fat, okay? I'm going to place that on top of there. Then I'm going to get a spoon. I know, this is so different than me cooking Italian all the time. You guys are not used to me cooking this. It's usually an Italian dish that I make. Okay. going to try to grab some of these. I love when I hear something sizzle, because it just seems like when you hear something sizzle, it just brings out, and when it's usually caramelizing, and then the flavor is just so much more enhanced. So, this is what it looks like, folks. I am not one for presentation, because even though the restaurants do it, but my house, we never did presentation, only because why? We were going to cut it up and eat in 5 minutes anyway, right? Oof. It's getting hot in this kitchen. I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to taste it to see if it's poisoned. Oh my God, the smell is good.